live from my vehicle yet again. Welcome to week 9 of training for my first marathon. I have been skeptical to even talk about or think about this because of how the training cycle went for the 6-hour race I was set to be doing back in May. It is now the end of July and I'm 9 weeks in, and I'm also 9 weeks post-injury. More like 10 weeks because I waited about a week to be like fully healed from the injury before I jumped into the start of my training cycle. So I basically started from ground up. I started from a 5-mile long run, and now this week I will be doing a 14-mile long run. So I am peaking at 20 miles and hopefully a 35 to 40 mile weekly peak week. I know that people have mixed opinions on if that should be higher or lower. My only goal for this is to finish, so I am not overly concerned with pounding the pavement too much. I'm also coming back from injury, coming back from a bit of over fatigue, just kind of jumping around within my training. So we just want to finish, preferably under 6 hours. My light goal, and I say this so very loosely because I don't even know what anything over 12 miles looks like for me right now. I would like to finish in under 5 hours. 4:30 would be a dream, but right now, as it stands, I don't see that happening. I will say I completed a 5K this weekend in 29 minutes and 42 seconds. So that is something worth noting, but we're not going to take it too lightly because that was 5K pace, and 5K pace is very different from marathon pace. Just saying. I think a lot of what went wrong with my 6-hour endurance race training was I was going off my watch, and using mostly a treadmill, which a lot of people also have mixed opinions on that. However, I am a staunch believer in miles are miles. Is it the same? I don't know. I don't really know. I think there is a lot to be said about being able to be outside against the elements because you can't control race day. But if the treadmill is what you got, then it's what you got. As of right now, I kind of just mix it up, and if I'm feeling any sort of like under the weather, just craving a little bit of an easier run, I do use the treadmill. I also use the treadmill for most of my speed sessions. Mostly speed sessions, although I will say I had a deload this last week and I had raced a 5K the day before, and then I had 7 miles for my long run the following day. So I did use the treadmill because I was looking at it more as a recovery run, and again, it was also like 100 degrees. So, no shame. I don't shame people for using the treadmill because I also use the treadmill. But I do try to make 75 to 80% of my runs outside. Again, I do prefer using the treadmill for the speed work that I've been doing because it's hard as it is, and for me, just being able to set the tread at what I need it to be has just made it not even easier, but it's just kind of taken the brain work out of it. And I mean, the fact that I was able to pull out a sub 30 5K this weekend astonishes me because I thought I was completely out of the realm of doing that. I mean, lately anyway, I've run one sub 30 5K, and that was back in October, and since then it's been 35 to 36 minute 5Ks, and that was even at races. So that to me was just kind of crazy town. Still looking at that sub 28 this year. We'll see. I will be hopefully doing a 5K following the marathon, but that's going to be like 2 weeks after, so that's a big fat maybe. I'm not going to sign up until it gets a little bit closer because I just want to make sure I'm in the right headspace and that my body is responding well to the training still, because right now despite a few obstacles in the start because I had been injured, I was in a boot, and then I was out of the boot, and I was just trying to, I was just trying to run again. That's all I cared about, and the fact that I'm 9 weeks in and feeling as good as I do, I'm shocked. I think this is just kind of how fitness is built, and I think the fitness is building. I don't know, knock on wood. I don't want to get too ahead of myself because we are just halfway there, and there's a lot of work to be done yet. And there's a difference between having a really good 5-mile run and running a marathon. So that's a thing. Now I use Runna, and while I use that program, I use it as kind of a framework. It's not like my Bible. I've read a lot of horror stories, and I did get injured, and it wasn't Runna's fault, but I did get injured, and I just kind of use it as the framework to my training. If something's feeling off, I don't care if I cut a run off or I'll cut a mile off here and there. It's more about consistency for me. Right now, I have been very consistent. I just had my second deload week of the block, and now my plan has 3 weeks build, and then the 4th week is a deload. So I am back in the build phase. I don't know how I feel right now. So when I turned 24, I did a 24-kilometer run on the treadmill, and I found out that it was not, in fact, actually that long because I was going off my watch and not the treadmill. So in theory, I probably have never run further than a half marathon. So this will be the, in theory, longest run I have ever done. I'm anxious. I am gonna say too that my goal for this weekend is 15 miles and not 14. It's just, I like even numbers better, and I just feel more comfortable with that distance looking at the base or the build schedule that I have. Like there would be 1 week where I'm jumping about, I think it was like 4 miles or something, I don't remember, but there was one crazy jump in there, and I think I just feel a little more comfortable jumping a little extra this week versus later on in the build block that I have right now. I don't know if that's correct, I don't know. I am winging this, but I'm winging it less than I was a year ago when I was training for my half marathon. Since then, I have done another half race and a 10K race and a handful of 5Ks. But yeah, I'm trying to just focus my energy right now on this marathon, because I think also where I had screwed up was signing up for too many little races in between. As far as that 6-hour race goes, I think I was putting too much on my plate and too much pressure on myself. And living in Wisconsin, the weather is bipolar, to say the least. I don't know, like, I don't know if it's fitness building or so much as my mindset changing. Like, I feel a difference in myself. I feel like I have learned how to endure. I have learned how to just suffer. Because not every run feels good. But I've also learned when to call it. For instance, Thursday, I have also started to donate plasma. Only once a week though, and the day before rest days is now what I have learned, because holy crap. I run 5 days a week now, and all the runs I had that week felt amazing. However, I noticed Thursday I had donated plasma the day prior, and I was dizzy, I was tired, nothing felt right. Like, I couldn't even go a quarter mile without having to stop, take a break. And then at one point I was just about back to my car, and I stood up, and I think it was the closest I've ever come to fainting. I was not smart and did finish off the run. I got done exactly what I needed to do, but it wasn't good, and I learned in that moment not to run the day after donating plasma. So today this week has been a little bit weird as far as training goes. Normally it's 2 on, 1 off, and then 1-3 in a row. However, with my daughter's birthday being tomorrow, I wanted to just have a complete rest day tomorrow and show out for her. So that's what I did, and I ran 4 days in a row, and my body's feeling it. And now I have to hit leg day because I have not been able to do legs in about a week. Also, that part, I had completely stopped strength training, completely stopped, because I was so tired all the time, and my body just was not responding well to the training that I was doing. And I don't understand what the difference is now. Like, why I'm able to handle it better. Maybe it is because of the strength training. Maybe it's just because I am focusing up a little bit more. I don't know for sure. I just know that things just kind of seem to be clicking right now. And I could come back in 2 days and say, why is this happening? Why isn't this going well? It just shifts all the time. But lately, the past few weeks, things have felt like they're just kind of they're just clicking a little bit better than they had been. And again, I don't know if it's because I started doing a little bit more of a strict strength training. I say it so lightly though, because I do 2 to 3 30-minute sessions a week, just depending on schedules, and I aim for 3. I aim for a push, a pull, and a full lower. And then I add in core accessories. And then one of the days I just do a complete rest, nothing except for just walking and getting my steps in, because that's just something that's kind of important to me. Not saying other people have to do it. If there's a day where you take 1,000 steps, it's fine. You do you. Personally though, I just feel better mentally when I get steps in. So that's one thing that I've been doing, and it's been helping tremendously. And then the other day where I'm not running, typically I do a bike ride or the elliptical, just for a little bit of aerobic stimulation and a little bit of stimulation on my legs. I will say tomorrow, not doing anything except for walking, because I am tired. I raced on Saturday. I did a 7-mile on Sunday. I did 4 miles of speed work yesterday, and then 4 easy miles today. So I'm a little bit cooked right now, and I think this is the first time I've actually had it like kind of settle in, like I'm tired. And it's so funny because I just had a deload week, but I think right now is really the first time I have felt like oh my gosh, I'm feeling this a little bit. And right now I really don't even want to go to the gym because I'm tired, and it just sounds like not what I want to do. But I aim to get in there for at least 20 to 30 minutes for just something, because I spoke with one of the trainers that works here after I was injured. I have been at this gym for 2 years now, and I love all of the trainers. All of the people here are so kind and nice. I met one of my closest friends through here, and she just said, like, let's sit down and talk. And she kind of talked me through like just basic things I should do. Like, it doesn't have to be this regimented compound movements every time. Like, keep it simple and just do the machines if that's all you have time for. There's no shame in that. And I guess that just kind of shifted the mindset I had towards strength training. Like, I thought I had to be going in there doing, like, when I started going to the gym, I was doing more of like powerlifting, bodybuilder type workouts, and obviously I never was that, but that's the kind of style I was doing. And I thought I had to be going in there and doing that when I could just be keeping it so simple and be out of there in 30 minutes. So that's what I've been doing. It's working for me right now. So today my plan is to just do 2 quad movements and then 2 posterior chain movements. I think that's what it's called. 2 anterior, 2 posterior, and calf raises. And to me, that's like, okay, I got done what I needed to do. I strengthened what I needed to. Cool. So that's kind of my training update for now. I am running low on time because guess what? I have plasma tonight. And that plasma is paying for my marathon shoes, because that's another thing that went wrong. I had a gait analysis done, and I'm gonna be honest, I think that I got injured wearing those shoes. So I found a pair that I absolutely love. I've been using the Vomero 18s, but they're the only shoe I'm using. I use them for all my runs, so I need to get an extra pair so that I can rotate them a little bit better. I was considering doing the Vomero premiums, but I'm gonna stick with what works. And just because I'm not rotating my shoes doesn't mean I'm not a good runner, because I can do my easy runs, my long runs, and my speed work in these shoes, and I feel amazing every single time. Knock on wood. That is the theme of this video, is like, let's not get too ahead of ourselves, but I am feeling good right now. I'm feeling like I got it for the first time in one of these training blocks, and I'm gonna say that, and then Thursday something's gonna happen. That's my theory. The other thing, I'm doing my long run either really early on Sunday, because my daughter's birthday party is on Sunday evening, so it's at 5 p.m. on Sunday. So I have the option to either do it super early Sunday morning or Saturday, but then I'd have to do it in the afternoon, and that's not ideal for heat. So I just kind of need to think on that. I need to see if I'll be running with my sister-in-law or if I'm solo missioning. We'll see. Excuse me. I ate some pickles before I left. That's, oh my gosh, I keep thinking of more I want to say. I have been so hungry all the time. All the time. Even like, especially rest days, I'm just can't eat enough. I'm so hungry all the time. I know it just comes with the territory, but holy crap, I have never been so hungry in my life. I feel like I eat and then just 2 hours later I am ravenous again. But yeah, that's kind of where I want to leave this, because again, I really do need to go knock this out actually, because I'm running super low on time. I don't even know if I have time now. Crap. Okay, well, I'm gonna leave this here, and let's pray that I get my leg day in.